Welcome back to English Daily Talk, your go-to podcast for improving your English listening and speaking skills. I'm Emily, your host, and today we have a very interesting topic to talk about: how to manage your time effectively. With us today is David, a productivity coach who helps people make the most of their day. Hi, David. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Emily. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here and share some tips on time management.
Time management can be a challenge for a lot of people, especially when we have so many things to do in a day. So, David, what's the first step to managing time effectively?
That's a great question, Emily. The first step is to plan your day in advance. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just take 10 to 15 minutes every night to write down what you need to do the next day. This gives you a clear idea of what you should focus on and helps you stay organized.
That sounds simple enough. So, is it important to have a specific time for each task?
Yes, it really helps. When you assign a specific time to each task, it's called time blocking. For example, you can block 1 hour for reading emails, another hour for working on a project, and so on. This way, you can focus on one task at a time and avoid distractions.
I love that idea. But what happens if something unexpected comes up during the day?
That's a common problem, Emily. Life is unpredictable, and things can happen that we didn't plan for. But here's the key: be flexible. If something urgent comes up, adjust your schedule. It's important to leave some extra time in your day for unexpected tasks. We call this buffer time.
Buffer time. That's a new concept for me. So, how much buffer time should someone include in their schedule?
It depends on your lifestyle, but I recommend leaving at least 30 minutes to an hour of buffer time each day. This way, if something unexpected happens, you won't feel too stressed or behind schedule.
That makes sense. I think sometimes people get stressed because they try to fill every minute of their day. And when things go wrong, they don't know what to do.
Exactly. You don't want to overfill your schedule. It's better to focus on the most important tasks and leave some space for flexibility. This is also where prioritizing comes in.
Prioritizing. Yes. Could you explain a bit more about that?
Sure, prioritizing means deciding which tasks are the most important and need to be done first. Not everything on your list will be urgent. Some things can wait. Focus on the tasks that will have the biggest impact on your day or week. Once you finish those, you can move on to the smaller tasks.
That sounds really helpful. So, let's say someone makes a list, blocks their time, and sets their priorities. But what if they still feel overwhelmed? What advice would you give them?
That's a great question, Emily. If you're still feeling overwhelmed, it might be because you're trying to do too much at once. My advice is to take a break. Sometimes, stepping away from work for 5 or 10 minutes can clear your mind and help you refocus. Don't try to do everything in one day. It's also important to set realistic goals.
That's really great advice. I think taking breaks is something many people forget to do, especially when they're busy.
Yes, breaks are super important. They help you recharge and stay productive throughout the day. Remember, time management isn't about being busy all the time. It's about being smart with your time and using it in the best way possible.
I couldn't agree more, David. Thank you so much for sharing all these useful tips with us today. I'm sure our listeners will find them very helpful.
Thank you, Emily. It was a pleasure being here, and I hope these tips help everyone manage their time a little better.
I'm sure they will. And to our listeners, remember to take a few minutes today to plan your schedule, set your priorities, and most importantly, give yourself some buffer time. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of English Daily Talk. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.